Okay, welcome everybody. We're about 3 minutes before we're getting started here on the webinar. I want to welcome everyone and thank you for joining in. I'm excited to share with you some of this marketing tactic that we've been working on with a lot of our clients, and the results have just been phenomenal. And so I want to share it with the world. And so I'm going to share it with you for free, because we're not an agency, right? Restaurant Systems Pro is helping you with your operations, helping you make your restaurant more profitable. But we always do say that we want to have a top line mentality with a bottom line efficiency, which means, hey, we want to grow those top line sales and be efficient to our bottom line, right? We want to increase profits. And so I'm going to share with you today how we do that. And so I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes for people to jump in and join too. If you are a current client of ours, you've been invited. So we sent this out to current clients and people that were on our list as well. And just know that if you are a current client, this is going to be something that we offer just as part of your membership with Restaurant Systems Pro. So if you're using our software, you're in our software, using our systems for food costing and inventory and manager log and your employee apps and scheduling, you're using all of these systems. We are throwing this in as an added benefit to you as a service, right? So we're a SaaS company, which means software as a service. And we have additional services. We were a coaching, before we were a software company, we were a restaurant coaching company. And, we were founded in 2004. And from 2004 to 2011, it was just coaching restaurants, providing some spreadsheet tools. And we just knew that we needed to provide better and better tools for you to execute the things that we teach. And so we continued on the journey, because we actually came out with some desktop softwares in 2006 and 7, 2008 menu engineering software, and then our online browser-based software was launched in 2011. And it looked a lot different back in 2011 than it did today. And one of the beauties of it being a browser-based software is it's updated. It's in the cloud, and so we update it and we are constantly improving it too. So those constant improvements are coming this year to make it even easier for you to generate P&Ls and get those on time. I mean, it's difficult to get the data over, even though we integrate with QuickBooks, it's difficult to get that all done. And as much as we can eliminate double work and have it to where you have your books on time, it's a difficult task, and we're launching this new feature with accounting that is going to just really kind of change the landscape of restaurants everywhere. All right, so it's 9 a.m. We have a bunch of people in here. Really excited to see you, Phil. Good to see you, Deborah, Charles. Let's see, anybody else want to let me know who's in here in the chat? Let's get the chat active. Let's put your name in there and where you're from. I really want to see that. I want to see in the chat who's out there too. I like to feel a connection with you. So let me know. Just don't be shy. Just put your name and city, or just put your name in there too. We want to hear from you. And so, hey Wes, what's up, dude? All right, so this is exciting. So Western Pork and a Fork here in Phoenix. I actually have some leftovers in my fridge from them right now too, so that's pretty cool. So the first thing we need to talk about is belief that it's possible, right? And so I like to tell this story, and the story starts back in the 50s, right? And in fact, it actually starts with this goal from years ago, this goal for humans to be able to run a 4-minute mile, right? And so for many centuries, it was thought to be impossible to run a 4-minute mile, right? That was the belief of the world, right? So impossible to run a 4-minute mile. And so with that, an incredible thing happened, okay? And it goes back to this belief, but an incredible thing happened on May 6th, 1954, okay, this person named Roger Bannister did the impossible. Roger Bannister, from the beginning of human existence all the way until from the beginning of human existence until May 6, 1954, he accomplished what was thought to be impossible. It was thought to be, you know, the lung capacity wasn't enough. There was just beyond the human capability, right? Roger Bannister believed he could do it and set out to do it. And one of the things that's really incredible about the story is not Roger Bannister. The incredible part of the story actually happened June. So from the beginning of human existence, so thousands of years, all the way to 1954, on June 21st, 1954, John Landy became the second person. So with that, it was only four. Is this being seen? Hold on. I want to make sure I can see. You can see that, yes. So only 46 days later, it took for the second person to do it. 46 days. So whether you think you can or you think you can't do something, you're right. Okay. So the belief that you can do it is so incredibly important. And I'm starting today off with that belief, because if you go into today's session not believing that a 55 prime cost is possible, not believing that it's possible for you, not believing that you know, the things that I'm talking about can happen for you, then guess what? You're right. And so I want you to question those beliefs, know that it's possible for you to have, you know, control that bottom line, to control your recipe costing card, to control all those parts of it. Now, before I jump into the actual marketing tactics that I'm talking about, I need to talk about your break-even point. Your break-even, okay? Now, this is really important because, you know, with your break-even point, it lets you know how profitable you're going to be on your marketing, right? And what happens is we have avoided teaching marketing outside of our client base for years, okay? And I'm shifting that because it's such an important thing, and it's also it's the number one thing that you as restaurateurs are interested in. I put a poll out on our group the other day, and it was by overwhelmingly the majority of what people wanted to hear about. Marketing sexy, putting butts in seats is sexy. Putting having a full restaurant that's buzzing is exciting, and it's why Groupon became so big so fast years ago, right? Because it promised full restaurants, right? And they promised full restaurants, and they basically said, hey, you're going to lose money on this. And it was a massive amount of money up front because you end up giving up 75% of the sale, which I don't know how anybody, that's a pretty expensive new customer. But what Groupon shoppers were just the coupon clippers, right? They would just move from Groupon to Groupon to Groupon and would build no loyalty to the restaurants they were going in, right? And so what's important about that is understanding that a lot of times marketing's not going to cure the pain you're feeling in your restaurant. The pain you have of checking your bank account every day, and the stress of knowing that payroll is coming up in a few days, and am I going to have enough money in the bank account to be able to cover it? Not wanting your employees to do direct deposit because that means you have to have the money that much faster for them. You'd rather have that extra couple days and wait for them to cash those checks, or even the servers that wait, you know, a few paychecks where they even cash any of them, right? And so that stress can just be compounding by marketing and increasing sales if your operations are in order, right? And so knowing your break-even point, And lowering your break-even point becomes a very important component of marketing, and marketing in a responsible way that's going to take away stress, not add to stress. Because who wants to be busier and make less money? Or who wants to be busier and make the same amount of money, right? It's demotivating, right? And so we want to have our full restaurant. We want to be increasing sales, and we want to be increasing loyalty in a way that that builds business over the long term, right? And builds relationships, and builds where you're creating experiences and good customer service, and all of those things too. And then being responsible with every dollar that comes in, and making sure that we're doing a good job with that too. All right. So break-even point, we have a couple of scenarios here, right? So scenarios that we have scenario A and scenario B here. Okay. Now in scenario A, we have this, it's not prime cost, but we have 65% variable costs. And I'm going to say myself, so our variable costs. And scenario B, 55%, right? We're doing better than the average bear on our costs, right? In both scenarios, though, we have 25K of fixed expenses. Fixed. So in this scenario, so what would be a fixed expense? It could be a semi-fixed expense is your utilities, right? It's not the same every month, but it's like this cost that comes, and it doesn't go up and down with sales. It goes up and down with how the weather is, right? And so we have that, and then we have what we call our lease and rent and other insurance expenses and phone bills and all these reoccurring expenses. And so what we're saying for this example is that this restaurant, all those, the rent and utilities and phone bills and non-variable, so not paper goods, those will go up and down with sales. So all of our fixed expenses that are the same every single month, they're fixed at 25K, right? And so it's the same restaurant with different scenarios. In both cases, fixed expenses are the same, right? So we go through that. And let's see, also let me know, my moderator's not here, so let me know in the chat if you have some questions as well on that. All right, do not hesitate to let me know your questions in the chat on that. Okay. So with that scenario, what we have to understand is that no matter what, we have food, no matter what, we have beer in a glass, no matter what, we have labor that's serving it. And a lot of times with when it comes to our marketing, we think that we're going to be able to increase sales without increasing labor, and it almost never happens. I mean, there can be small incremental increases. Really, the only time it happens where we're increasing sales and not really increasing labor is when we've maxed out on labor. It's like the small footprint restaurants that can't add any more employees. You can't put any more people on the line. You can't add more sections for your server. That's when we can, and we just keep those times full. That's when we really realize the importance of that. But I want you to kind of put that aside, to think that, hey, I could be twice as busy on this and use the same labor, or be 20% more busy and use the exact same labor. You're going to use more labor, even if it increases the hours they're working, even if it's not more employees, it's more hours, it will happen. So what that means is, with those variable costs, that for every dollar that comes in the business, you're going to have 35 cents left over in this scenario, right? And over here, for every dollar that comes in the business, you're going to have 45 cents left over. Okay. And so that's a pretty big deal in looking at that, right? So what that means now is I have to take care of, and I have to pay for these fixed expenses no matter what. And every dollar that comes in my store is going to have a variable expense. It's going to have food on the plate, beer in the glass. It's going to have employees serving that, cooking that, serving that. It's going to have credit card fees that are variable expenses. It's going to have paper goods that are variable expenses. So all those variable expenses, what's left over is what I have to take care of my fixed expenses. And so essentially what that means is, all these dollars are coming in. It's how many 35 cents. So how many 35 cents do I need to bring in to pay for $25,000? And if we do the math on that, it's going to be 71,428.57 to take care of $25,000. So this is how many dollars have to come in to take care of 25K of my fixed expenses, right? Now, what happens with that, I'm gonna test you here. What happens, let's say I get my sales up, I've taken care of that, and my sales go to 81,428.57. Any guesses on what my profit will be on this 81? So it's exactly 10K more. Any guesses in the chat? Let me go to the chat. Any guesses in there on what that profit's going to be? What you got, chat? Any guesses? Don't worry. Here's what I'll do. I won't read the name. Throw a guess out there. What do you think it's going to be? We have lots of people in here, lots of participants. Everybody's being very shy. Anybody got a guess? All right, everybody's being shy, okay? Well, think about it. If I'm, no matter what, even after, okay, Robert, great job. Robert got it right, point on, right? Because even after profitability, I still have variable expenses. I still have food on the plate. I still have, even after this break-even point, a lot of times people think, oh, after break-even point, that's where all my profit's coming from. Well, that's true, but I still have variable expenses in a restaurant no matter what. So if I add the 10K onto this, well, guess what? There's 35 cents that instead of going to pay for fixed expenses, it's now going to profit. Wes got it right as well, right? So the extra 10K is going to add $3,500 in profit there. So that $3,500 in profit added on to that, okay? So thanks for participating, guys. Really appreciate it. So now I get to 91,428.57, right? I go to $7,000 in profit. And here's what's crazy about the restaurant industry because of all the variable expenses. From $0 to $71,000, or excuse me, from $0 to $81,428 in this example, I make $3,500. And I double profits in the next $10,000. So I make just as much money from 81 to 91 as I do from 0 to 81, right? So getting to break even as fast as possible is going to massively increase profits. Now, we move over to the other scenario. Now we're running better. We've lowered our food costs. We're controlling labor better. We've negotiated our credit card fees. We're doing better with it. So we have 25K, okay, 25K divided by our 45 cents, right? And in that scenario now, our break-even point is moved all the way down to 55,555.56, right? So 55555 all the way across, right? Well, now I do 10K more, and I do 65,555.56. Now my profit is $4,500, right? Because I'm throwing 45 cents to the bottom line. If I get all in this scenario, I get all the way to I get my sales out, and I do 91,428.57 profit. I'm gonna make sure this is showing. Profit on this is going to be $16,000. So it's gonna actually be 16,142.28 compared to the $7,000, right? So our profit, it's not an exponential growth, but it's definitely hockey stick profit. And that's what my clients see as they improve it too. Now, if we start looking at this and we go, okay, well, we have 35 cents or 45 cents to throw at our fixed expenses. Well, we add a 20% discount, right? Or, anything more than a 35% discount means that we make no money on that. And we better be getting in for a return visit. You start even at this, a 50% discount, you only have a nickel to throw at fixed expenses, right? So that's where Groupon really just killed restaurants years ago with all the problems it created in it too. So now there's this thing in marketing, right? And it's something that I learned. And if you've watched the Avengers, right? Thanos has the snap, right? And the snap was his evil way of making the universe better. And that Thanos snap from the movie was, if he did the snap, then half of everybody would disappear. And he felt that that made the universe less competitive for resources and would allow people to flourish, which makes absolutely zero sense too. So he wanted to get rid of half of everybody so that the universe could grow. So it was a random half, right? Well, compare that. I think it's the Zuckerberg snap, the Google snap, the the big social media snap. And what happens is, and this has happened in increments over the years, and it's happened with the iOS 14 update, is over the years, they charge for impressions, they charge for clicks, they charge for putting your message out there, right? And then what happens is the demand builds up for that. And with that demand, they control your list, right? And they can snap, and now half of your marketing's gone because they raise the price on it, and you double the marketing, and it's happened many, many, many times. And so to avoid that, any marketing that we do, any discount that we get, and I'm going to say a discount is good on a new customer, right? Because we want to win somebody over. And but that was also Groupon's way of selling you. Groupon was like, oh, it's a new customer, we're going to get you. But we want good quality. We'll spend the money on a good quality new customer, right? And so, there's kind of the age-old way of targeting where that you can apply to social media. Now, an age-old way that we would use our list to be beneficial. We always have to have a list. Our value is our list. Number one thing, you have to have a list. No matter what the price for any offer or anything that you do is, we're going to exchange, phone number is good. A lot of times it's just easier to get the email, right? But anytime we want their information so that they belong on our list, and we control our list, and we're not beholden to Facebook holding them in a group, Facebook, Pixel being able to update it, right? And so I'm going to cover a couple of those things too that I talked about, right? I'm going to make sure. I want to cover the iOS update, and that also goes with the Pixel. What the heck is that stuff? Some of you know, some of you don't. I want to make sure that we review that. Okay. So those are all things where we have to control. So no matter what marketing we do, we're going to control it. Now, an age-old thing that we would do is, we have a map here, right? And we have a neighborhood. So here's a neighborhood. Got a neighborhood going through here. Here's a road. Here's a neighborhood. Here's a road. Here's a neighborhood. Roads going down, and we have houses on this neighborhood, right? Here's the map. Here's all the houses in this neighborhood, right? And we would take our list, right? We have all the houses in the neighborhood. You guys get the idea, right? Here we have the roads going down, road, road, road. And we're looking at this neighborhood that's around our restaurant. And one of the great things about having our list is we could go in this neighborhood and we could say, let's fill out this neighborhood. All right. We go into the neighborhood and we can say, oh, here's our customer. Here's our customer. Here's our customer, right? And then we could take that and go to an agency and say, oh, fantastic. Give me a mailing list and plot out my current list and give me all the addresses of all of the neighbors of my customers, because all of these people that are neighbors to my customers, they're like them. Your neighbors are similar to you, right? And so it became a really good way of doing it. If you're doing direct mail and you're not using this tactic, it's really important. But direct mail has become super expensive. It's another one of those snaps, right? The postal service snap that kind of eliminates a marketing method, because as the cost grows over time. And in restaurants, we have variable costs with it. So we have to be very profitable. We have to drive lots of revenue with the marketing that we do, right? We can't just do, it's not like, delivering a digital product and it's all profit, right? And so we have this opportunity to target like this. Well, one of the things that happens is we have the Facebook pixel, we have the Google pixel, and that's a little bit of code that you can install on your website that communicates that somebody's been there, right? It lets Facebook know that somebody has been there from Facebook, and allows you to do retargeting, which can, when somebody already, it makes them a warmer lead. So when somebody doesn't know who you are, they're a cold prospect or a cold guest, right? And it's warmer when they're on there, and you put somebody on your list, they become a warm prospect to be a guest in your restaurant, right? And we want to get them on our list. Well, the pixel is going to allow us to retarget them, and we can retarget them on YouTube. That's another tactic I'm going to be bringing to them, and we can target them on there as well. Now, email is still really important factor in marketing. Okay, well, let me get back to the iOS stuff though. I'm going to get there. So we have our pixel, we have our iOS update. Now, what's the iOS update? That's where Apple got pissed off and mad and hurt marketers everywhere. That's hurt small business, actually more than anything, in the name of privacy. Now, guess what? There's good and bad to to our phones, right? And I'm gonna say, just by having a phone, you've already given up a portion of your privacy, right? Just by having it. And so there's some people that say, oh, I'm not going to create a Facebook account because of privacy. I'm not going to create, this and that. Well, it can be used for bad, but it can also be used to help marketers find and deliver the right message to the person that really wants to come in. And you want to deliver your message to people who want to come in your restaurant, right? And those are people in your neighborhood. Those are people like your current customers. And so with this same tactic, even without the pixel, we can take our current list of customers and we can upload that to Facebook and create this thing called a look-alike audience, LLA. So it's a look-alike audience. And Facebook will go out and find people that are just like your customers. You upload your list, you put their email name and any information you have on them, and Facebook will find them. And that's a great way for us to deliver ads, right? Too. The iOS update, though, has blocked the Facebook pixel. And so there's different workarounds, there's integrations, there's APIs that talk back and forth. And so Facebook is battling to work around this, blocking it. And they did it mostly with Facebook, but the Google pixel is actually still working pretty good in retargeting, right? But Apple, and you have that, you'll have it pop up when you have your phone new. Do you want to block that? And most everybody is saying, yes, I want to block that. And when I don't do it, because I understand a little bit more, I know that I'm being tracked on my phone, but now I'm only getting things that I'm interested being delivered to me in my feed, in my social media feed, as I look at that. And I want that, right? And so we have this iOS update that has made it more and more difficult to plan, right? Now, if our goal is to reach our customers, right? Our goal is to reach our customers and to not only reach our customers, but to get their information. That's good. Now, one of the clients I work with, that is our current client, they want to help on marketing, and we start helping them. And I'm going to tell you, why am I an authority on this? Why should I be? I told you, I'm a chef, I'm in operations, I'm the CEO of a software company. What makes me a good marketer? Well, one of the things that we had to do at Restaurant Systems Pro was figure out a different way to get in front of you, right? And so we had to figure out, because we couldn't go out and do speeches, we couldn't go to the food shows, we couldn't do those things. We had to learn to get in front of you. And so I just started to figure out Facebook, and going in there and installing the pixels and doing the Google display ads and doing the YouTube marketing. And likely everybody here has seen the ads that we have for our training manuals that are out there, right? And what's crazy is we're giving away these training manuals as a crazy offer. We used to sell them, and I'm not selling to you right now, I'm just telling you how I'm able to spend so much money on Facebook, right? Because my goal is to have a relationship with you. It's good for me to connect with servers, because they'll be managers and owners one day. So it's good for me to connect with cooks. And we have our YouTube channel that has close to 20,000 followers on there, and we need to be educating and helping the entire industry. But I also want to be, just like you don't want to be in front of like 13-year-old kids in your marketing. You want to be in front of people that are going to be your buyers, right? And so when helping restaurants, we want to put them in front of buyers, and we also want to be able to capture their information. For me, I figured out this, building my own landing pages and making it to where when people click, they could purchase our manuals through our ads. And what that allowed me to do was sell the ads. They're $47. These manuals I normally sell for $1,000, deliver them digitally, which means that it's $47 in profit. It's 100% profit on that, except for my ad spend, right? And so I lose a little bit of money on my ads, right? But over the course of the year, I spent $300,000 on my digital marketing in the last 12 months and have brought in $250,000 in marketing. So it cost me like $50,000 to bring thousands of leads, right? And guess what? Only restaurant owners like you only are buying these manuals because they're only useful to managers and owners, right? And it's a done for you system. And so we've really added a lot to that to make that offer really compelling. We want it to be an offer so good. And this is kind of what you need to look at in your restaurant too. You want your offer to be so good that people feel stupid saying no, right? And so we're testing a couple of things. We're going to be doing it with a place called Yogurt Mill. I don't know if they're on here. They're launching a new product, which is an edible cookie dough to go with their frozen yogurt. And so their giveaway is going to be that cookie dough with every purchase. We've already done it to where we put the ads out and they have to, and I'm gonna walk you through how to do it and go in there too. If you're our client, we'll do it for you. Okay. But creating the pixels, getting the code on there, creating your business, your Facebook business manager. A lot of you think you're running ads, but you're just running and boosting ads, boosting posts and things through the Facebook admin page. And that's not really your business manager or your ads manager. You want to be able to target correctly. You want to be able to target and build lists and do lookalike audiences and set up pixels and verify your website so they know you're real and not a scammer. All of those things, they're a little bit complicated. And so doing them all, what I do with my pen, doing them all is a little bit difficult, but you can do it. And what happens is when I start talking about you have all this break-even money, well, a lot of times what's happened is you have to go out to get this stuff done. You have to go out and pay $1,000 a month for an agency, right? For an agency. And so, if I let me get my calculator out. If I'm running the 65, let's say if and most people that come into us, they're running a 70-75 prime, to be honest, right? And so if I have a digital agency and I have to pay them $1,000, right? And let's say I'm running that at 75% variable, right? So what's left over is 25 cents of every dollar, right? So I have that 25 cents left over of every dollar. Well, now just to take care of the agency outside my ad spend or anything, now I got to do $4,000 of revenue just to break even on the agency, not even counting my ad spend. Right? Let's say that agency's at some kid that's figured out this stuff out. They do it. So this is why we're doing it for free for our clients, because a lot of you, if I'm doing 100K a month, adding $4,000 and not making any money on it to my revenue really isn't good. If I'm at 30, let's say I'm doing better to 65%, well, now I'm getting closer to having to add $3,000 of revenue to break even on that spend. I don't just raise my break-even point by $1,000. In the restaurant business, every expense that you have to do a multiple of revenue to be able to pay for that that expense, right? And so my clients do a lot better. A lot of times that number is like 2.5, which is a lot better because they're running that 55 prime cost and better with their stuff. But that's beside the point. This is the reality of where you're at. So you pay an agency to do this, and that's where you go. Okay. So that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball before you even start your marketing. It's a lot that you have to overcome and spend to break even. So if instead we can make it to where you're just spending, because I'm gonna teach it to you about on your own, and this is going to be recorded. There's going to be a recording of this. It'll be up all weekend. And you can walk through creating those things, right? So if you have questions, you can email me, fred@restaurantsystemspro.net. I'm happy to answer some questions as much as I can. My priority has to be our Restaurant Systems Pro clients, but it's definitely something you can figure out. And the reason I know you can is because whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. That's one. But two, I did it. I taught it all. I taught myself it, and I've spent somewhere close to $500,000 on the Google display and Facebook. And when you spend that kind of dollars in these um, you know, it actually makes me sick to think that I spent that much, but at the same time, I need to connect with you, right? And it's been a very successful marketing area for us to build that relationship with you, because we're giving away something as a relationship builder for you. Yes, yes, it costs $47 for those training manuals, and I can actually put the link in there. Why not? Let me grab that link. Interested in those, and there's a lot more than just the manuals in there for $47 in there, but there's a link in the chat if anybody's actually interested in what we're talking about. But like I said, I've spent a ton on these. I know a lot about it, and that's where we're going to get into this. All right, so then what we're going to get to is we're going to get to a spot I'm going to start with, is we want to build a relationship with the client, and we want to do it. So one of the clients I have that I was talking about, they actually were good at doing landing pages on their own, and I helped them go in there. They had ClickFunnels, which is a software I know how to use, and it's one that I use. It's like $300 a month for that software to get in there, but they knew how to create landing pages. And so where this started was creating the ads and delivering them. And what was happening was they were giving away, they're a pizza restaurant, and they were giving no strings attached, giving away a pizza. Right, so they're giving away a medium pizza, no strings attached, and it was a little scared to do that. But when you don't, remember, we want to offer so good, people feel stupid saying no. And so what we did is we didn't put buy one get one free. We didn't put one, and even the yogurt mill, we did this with yogurt mill. They felt nervous about it. They did buy one get one, even though I think they should have just done free. They built their list by close to 2,000 app users. Right, their goal is if you downloaded the app, you could do buy one get one free yogurt. They built that list by 2,000, and they did enough revenue of people going in with a buy one get one to almost break even on the ads, right? So for them, it was that building that list. Now they're able to market, and they have the people purchasing on the app and coming in and doing it. So that's coming on the back end, but they funded their marketing effort up front with that, right? The second one with the Arugula pizzeria that I worked with is they're doing 3x their ad spend. So obviously I'm doing it for free because they're our client. So I'm doing the ads, doing the design of the ads, putting them out there. One of the things that we do is for an ad to work, I don't know what ad will work, right? And so what we do is we know which ads work and which ones have worked better than others. We start designing that, but we never really know what works for one doesn't work for another, what works for me doesn't. So there's constant creative. I've created hundreds and hundreds of ads because you have to do this testing process. And so you spend a tiny bit of money with a whole bunch of different ads designed, and you get in there. And in fact, I'm going to go into Business Manager and show what that looks like a little bit too. So so Death by Tequila is one. I'm an owner in this restaurant. And so that's another reason why I did that one. But the Arugula one where we're delivering by email, that was getting a 3x. So it was basically an email saying free pizza. They signed up, they had to put their email and name in when they get, and then immediately they got an email that came back that said, that said, hey, here's your coupon for free pizza, and they had an expiration date to make them drive in and do it, right? So if I go here, I go to these messages campaign, and now I'm in Ads Manager. Some of you have never seen this, and if you've never seen this, you're not doing your Facebook ads correctly, right? If you've never seen this page, oh, I'm not showing my screen, sorry. Share screen. So if you've never seen this in Ads Manager, then you're not doing it right. And so right here, you can see here, we're looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, $25 a day on this ad spend, right? And what I want you to see is that there's other ads down here that I've turned off, right? And if you look at some of the numbers on the right, you can see the message conversions here. What we did is for those of you that don't have ClickFunnels, you're not paying the $300 a month, you don't know how to do landing pages, you call your web designer, and creating a landing page is going to cost you $1,000 or cost you this and that. What we've done is create messenger campaigns using a bot, right? And so ManyChat will cost you like $10 a month in the beginning. ManyChat, ManyChat.com, right? And you can link that to your Facebook Business Manager, and you can use flow throughs. In fact, I should be logged into that. Let me log into it. And it looks like this ManyChat. And let me get logged in. Sorry, I thought I was logged into everything before I started. I'm going to show you what ManyChat looks like. You can create flow throughs that show you exactly where you're at. So here's the Restaurant Systems Pro one that we've done. Here's my Death by Tequila. And here we have a growth tool that we've done. And it was this one that we've created. And what you can do is you create these flow throughs that tell your messenger bot what to do, right? And so when we do this, what we do is we run the ad to Messenger, and then it says, hey, welcome. Thank you for being part of the Death by Tequila Familia. We would like to invite you for $15 off your check. That's pretty cool, with no strings attached. The only string is it has to be used for food because of California law. You can't discount liquor, right? Or give away liquor for free at all. So, and that's just because of California law that's in there. So $15 off their check just for signing up and coming in. And what they're getting right now, and it's not even over. The promotion actually ends on the Sunday, so we'll get all the numbers out there. But somewhere like 2x the ad spend, right? So they're getting 2 times. So for every, they spent $500 in ads, it's $1,000 in sales, is what that's saying. Now, is that perfectly profitable based on what we're needing to do? No, it's not, right? Where we want to be is 3x, like Arugula Pizzeria that I'm working with and getting there. But that one ended, right? What happens is anybody that's ever run any kind of promotion in your restaurant, you understand that on the last day of the promotion is when the most. So this one that I'm running now, you'll see as it goes through, they have a chance to answer, sure, I will, I don't want $15 off. So we say, hey, great, what's your best email? Okay, we build that. ManyChat's how you do it. There's tutorials in there. There's YouTube videos on how you can do it if you're not my client, right? We go through here, we can set an email opt-in where they have to give it. And we've set up an integration with Google Sheets, right? So here, when we first did it, it wasn't working. And so we have actually far more names than we have here. But here's a Google Sheet that shows the integration. We've integrated. And so we have all of these names automatically that are coming in. And this one's just from like the last week or two, all these names coming in. So we have names and emails of all of these people, right? Let me make sure I'm going to stay. They use Constant Contact. So I'm going to show you the results of the emails that are going out because we're following it up with emails. We own our list, right? We're not relying just on Facebook to own our list, right? So if they do, we have a smart delay. If they don't answer, then we'll say, hey, what's going on? What's your best email? We don't want you to miss out on this if they wait to answer, right? So we have this. And then if they click, I don't want the $15. There is some grumpy people that click, I don't want the $15, and it says, oh, sorry, maybe you just clicked the message button on accident, which is what they did. They clicked our ad, right? And so they can say, oops, I want the $15, or just unsubscribe, which is fine. If they don't want to hear from us, then that's fine. They can unsubscribe. Some people just get really scared and unsubscribe, and it opts them out of Messenger. And then we're not breaking any Facebook rules by having people that don't want in there. But what happens is they say, yes, they want it, and they put in their email. When it sees that they put in an email, it'll automatically say, hey, we're really excited to have you join us at one of our 2 locations. Here they are. And then there's their coupon, right? And then when they come in, they just show that. They just show that coupon on their phone, and they get their off. And then there's a chat question here. Yes, the recording will be going out. Somebody's joining late, right? So this will be sent out either tonight or tomorrow. Sometimes it takes a while for it to be sent, right? So we have this whole flow through built, and then there's the thing, and you can even see here as let me zoom in on it. You can see it's a June 19th that's been sent out. So on top of that, though, they forget, right? So we have this being set, and it's all automated. You take this, when you do it in ManyChat, it gives you code. When you have Business Manager set up, remember I said, if you're in Business Manager and you create an ad in here, then you can get this code and integrate that code from ManyChat into your Facebook Ads Manager, okay? Right? So this is here, you can see $860 in ad spend. And what's happened is this ad spend, because remember I told you we don't know what will work, because of ad spend, it gets better and better, because some of these other ads I've turned off because we don't know what works, right? So we put all this different creative out, and then the ones that work the best, we keep running, or we try new, stuff, right? So you can see here, here's one that we ran and nobody clicked it, right? So not in the month of June. I actually turned it off before May. You can see I started these on May and then I updated these in June, right? Or yesterday, right? Even. So like all of these are running. You can see these messaging conversations are not as good, right? But then we get up to the ones that I'm running and those are running a lot better, right? And so we can see good click-through rates. And then there's a thing called ad fatigue and all that too. I do want to show you in the ad set, if I hit edit, that we look at, and this is what we can do much better here in our targeting, right? So I'm looking at this ad set, I'm telling it where to target it. We're using geographical target to do. If I hit edit on this, what I've done is I've plotted these on the oops, it says we're targeting people that live in this location or are recently in it. That way we're actually targeting people that, this is it's called Geo Fencing. We're targeting people that, let me see if it shows my circles. Yeah, there we go. And what we did is we wanted as little overlap as possible on these, so that we were covering all the areas around the two restaurants without overlapping our ad spend too much, right? And so we honed in, looked at it, and you can see that I have latitude and longitude targets. It's not just directly, I start with directly off of the address of the restaurant, but then we find a point and an area that we want to target. And you can see we're going about 12 or 13 miles out from the restaurants. I get on with the managers and say, hey, what are the neighborhoods we want to make sure are included? They know sometimes a railroad track will make it to where you don't have customers coming in from there, right? And what's happening is people only in this area, so I won't see this ad unless I'm in this area, right? So I'm not going to waste ad spend just putting it out there in general, and it's delivering it to only the people who have crossed through that. So even if I'm a tourist and I don't live there and I'm staying close by, that will show up, and it's showing up. We're making it to where it's showing up on Instagram, showing up on when you play a game and you get like you're playing Candy Crush and you want to earn more Candy Crush turns or whatever, you can get delivered an ad and they give you more, right? So this reward network is what it's called. And we can make it to where it's run, all those ads are run through there and it's all geographic targeting, right? But we don't want to have Facebook be in control of our list. So the ManyChat with the integration to Google Sheets, and then we take the Google Sheets data, and it doesn't matter what email program you're using, we can import it in. They're using Constant Contact. And you can see here, this is one that we just yesterday, you can see it's got a 55% open rate. If you can see on that, that's a pretty good open rate on an email. And we have 266 names that we've added since May 16th. We're actually more than that now, even since yesterday, which is kind of crazy in there. Okay, so we have the one that we sent last week at the beginning of the week, and then guess what? There's going to be another one sent tomorrow, and there's going to be sent throughout the weekend as the expiration date comes up, right? And then we'll restart the whole campaign again with a new expiration date 4 or 5 weeks from now, and do it all over again and get new people. And then the people that are on the list from this are now part of our list. They're going to get our normal emails that we're doing, right? And so we're going to have them, we're going to remind them about coming in. We're going to have them be excited about it. So Messenger is something they're responding to. It's tough to get people to respond to a restaurant as a cold, but Messenger works really good for getting them in there, right? And so what I want to do with that is kind of show you what some of those look like. Show you what some of those look like. And so I'm going to stop my share here. And I'm going to share my screen here on my phone. Right? It's just easier to see. There's Business Manager that we can get into. But here we have, and you can even see, look at the names populating, right? They're going in there, right? And so we can go in here and you can see here the 9:21 a.m. just since we've been on, since there's been 3 people that have joined. Just so here's this person here. We click on it and it says from the top, here we go. They clicked our ad. And if you go in this thing, and if you go in the system and you go to Business Manager, you can see which ad they clicked on, right? And it's giving you numbers to let you know which are my best ads, which are the ones that are running right, and getting them in there. And so you can see in the ManyChat how it was set up. Thank you for becoming part of the Death by Tequila Familia. And it says, and then they click the button, right? So she clicked the button, sure I will, and it says, great, what's your best email? And there's her best email, and we're really excited to have you. And just like that, they've been doing automatically while I was on the phone, while I was on the webinar with you, she signed up, right? There's some other ones in here. Let's see, unfortunately, let's see, sure I will. Like she hit it twice, she wasn't seeing that. She says, all right, so we'll respond to her. We'll probably say, oh yeah, just for you, just make sure you show yes. Yes, for you, of course, right? So I can still respond without outside of the bot, right? Just show this message to the manager, right? So now they can just show this. It's on their phone, it's in their pocket, it's always with them, and they can do that. Okay, and so we can still respond here. Let's see what there's people see. It says, all right, so this person said, I don't want the $15 off, right? For whatever reason, they don't want to come in the restaurant, right? Every once in a while. So this person didn't respond. They say they don't, and it gives them the opportunity to unsubscribe. So you're not having people in there. So this person actually responded, oh, that can I use during happy hour? I said, hey, yeah, of course, but it's only for food. Here's a person that's still in the midst of, so still waiting on their email. So we're still waiting on them to answer, and it will, oops, let me move that. And it will go through and answer that, right? So if we look back here, I started this on May 16th, right? So, I mean, look at this. Look at these names, right? I'm just scrolling through people that are becoming new customers like this. And I think we're at about $800 spent is what we're at. So yeah, you're gonna have to spend some money on ad spend, but think about if you had to have your agency in there too. So do it yourself. You know, there's ways that you can get in there and do it. If you're my client on here, we will do this for you. Okay. So I'm still going. What am I? Oh, all right, here we go. So from May 16th, here I'm looking at May 16th. So from like this person on all the way up, right? That's how many new people we have, right? And they're all being imported into our email system, and we do that too. All right. What's funny? Oh, sign me up. Yes. I just saw LOL. I'm like, what's so funny? On there. So that's really cool. Dwayne, yes, we will do this for you. It's just our way. We want to just continue. It's one of the things that happens is I want to be responsible. I'm going to wrap this up. Let me stop did I stop share? Yeah, I did. Okay. I want to be really responsible with restaurants, right? And so I just proved to you what can happen if you're not running a good prime cost and you market. You can lose money faster, right? And so we've always been very careful about what we do in helping them, but guess what? We're really good at it. We know how to market, and we're going to help our clients. So this is just an added benefit for our clients. One of the reasons that we are doing so well as a company is that the average client has been with us 11 years. That's on average. We've had our clients be with us 11 years. And so that's a really exciting thing. We are, if you're our client, we know that you're doing inventory. We know that you have recipe costing cards. We know that you're running, when you come in, you're lowering that break-even point so that you can run promotions like this to get a new customer. We don't want you discounting to existing customers. Oh, guess what we can do also? I didn't even mention this. In that geographic target, what we also did was took the current list that they had and imported that list in there. And then we take that list and we can create lookalike audiences. But what we did was we excluded our current list. So the only people being shown the ad are the people that aren't on our customer list already. So we're specifically targeting new customers, right? People that don't know who we are and who and what we can do. And so what we'll do is we will help you. And as if you're a client, we're not going to be getting there managing. We will schedule coaching calls, and we will look over your shoulder, and we'll set this stuff up with you and for you, right? So a lot of times you can just give me access to your mini chat. We'll set up the flow through the chat for you, and it's gonna be up to you to respond to them, right? Even the agency doesn't do all that stuff for you, right? So we'll get it all set up for you. You get it running. We'll do your creatives for you. We'll get it all going. We'll set up your Geo Fencing and get your business manager. And we got to get your pixel updated, right? So there'll be some steps and some things we have to do, but this is a pretty good thing that you can turn on and off to really drive traffic. And it's pretty exciting, especially when you want the neighborhood around you to know that you exist, right? And so you know, a lot of times it ends up being that $3 to $5 per lead that you get, right? And so now if we can get them to come in, especially if we have a chance to get them to come in over time, because we capture and own their information instead of just putting a display ad out there like it's a billboard on Facebook, that we're actually getting them a direct response marketing engagement on that. So that's really important. I am doing, any of my current clients are invited to come, but what I'm doing is kind of a relationship building restaurant breakthrough challenge next week. And I'm going to teach on accounting. I'm going to teach on food costs, labor costs. I'm going to do the marketing again next Friday. All of those things that you need to do in your restaurant, I'm going to do them in a restaurant breakthrough challenge next week, starting Monday. If you'd like to sign up for that, I'm going to put it in the chat here. And you can sign up for that. If you're a current client, you're welcome to join, or if you want your managers to come, you're welcome to join. There's no cost to it. It's really a relationship building exercise where I'm educating on the things that you can do to make a difference and lower your prime costs, lower that break-even point in your restaurant. Super important too. So we're going to be doing that challenge next week, and you're welcome to sign up. If you're doing the recording, we'll put on the landing page that the recording is going to be on. You will get the link to the Restaurant Breakthrough Challenge will be on there. If you are looking at this and going, oh my gosh, I need to be doing this. Well, guess what? We're going to make you, if you want us to do it for you, we're going to make you do the not fun stuff with the fun stuff. And the not fun stuff is, you know, inventory and recipe costing cards and budgeting and control. There's Gregg's calendar. You can get on his calendar and you can talk to him about being a client of Restaurant Systems Pro anytime. But overall, I'm just here to serve you well. Get your business manager set up. And in fact, if you need to do it, there is a, let's see, you're going to go to me. I want to make sure you know how to do this. Business.facebook.overview is going to instruct you how to set up that business manager. So even if you're a current client, man, get this set up and it will let you know if you've done it already. I'm going to drop that in the chat as well. That'll get you started. Control V. And then when you do ManyChat, create it through your Facebook account. And it's going to be manychat.com. manychat.com. Create that through your Facebook account. And then it'll automatically link that up with your business manager and make it a lot easier to execute all this. So don't sign up with your email, sign up with your Facebook account on there, right? And so, like I said, if you're a client, send me an email, or some of you have my cell phone, you can text me and we'll get you signed up and we'll get you going on this too. So part of the process is something we're launching. I'm going to be doing it, and I'm going to be teaching a couple of my employees how to do it so that we can help you quicker and more efficiently than just me helping you. Okay. So we're here to serve you well. I think this is a pretty exciting method to be using. And like I said, we are here to serve you well. And I'd like to, I have 5 minutes. So if anybody has any questions right now, I'm happy to answer some things. So I just put the links in there. There's the Calendly for Gregg. There's the 5-day restaurant breakthrough challenge right there. And then, like I said, there'll be an email sent out to everybody that signed up for the webinar with this recording too. So if you missed the beginning, you can catch that too, because we talk about some of the metrics of breaking even on that too. So that will be sent. And then there's some other, the business Facebook, that's what you're going to do to set up your business manager. You have to use business manager and ads manager to do this correctly. You're not seeing anything in the chat. Oh, it's because it's going to the panelists. Dang it. Everyone, it's got to go to everyone. All right, here we go. Let me resend it. All right, so here is the breakthrough. Thanks, Wes. Dang it. Usually I have somebody moderating this for me. I apologize, right? There's the link for, there is the link for the breakthrough challenge, okay? Here is the link for the training manuals. If you're a client, you automatically get the training manual portal. Everything that's there you have. And if you're going like, oh, I want that, I'm not using it, we'll get it for you. There's no cost for the training manuals if you're a client. We provide everything for our clients, right? Calendly, if you want to talk to Gregg about if you're a non-customer and you want to talk to Gregg about getting this done and becoming a client so we can get this done for you, that's there. Here is to set up your business manager and make sure that that's done. Is here you don't want it under your own profile. You want to set up a different business manager for your business. Then you can let agencies, we're actually set up as an agency. We're not an agency, of course, but you can give us agency access so we can help you set this stuff up in your business manager. Otherwise, it's, you know, just like I did it on YouTube, figuring it out. Like I said, there'll be recording of this too, and we'll go from there. And then mini chat, that's the other one. Let me go to mini chat. So I'm about to sign off. I want to thank you for everybody that came. There's the mini, that's Facebook. Let me just type it out. Minichat.com. Okay. All right, so that's all to everyone. Those are those links, the breakthrough challenge. If you want this messenger thing set up for you in your restaurant, like I said, we'll do the creatives, we'll do all, you know, the ad messaging, the copy, the setup and manager. I mean, all of it too. You're gonna have to work with us because we got to have access and do with you and all that, but we'll do it for you. And I'm happy to do that to serve you well too. Like I said, we're cautious to do it for people that aren't our customer because you could lose money faster by increasing sales, and a lot of you need to increase sales coming up too. So differentiate yourself. I'm sure you've never seen a restaurant doing that. Maybe you have. I don't think you have. But it's a pretty good tactic to not only get your message out there like a billboard, but then retain all that contact information so you can continue to market to your client. So I'm going to sign off unless there's any quick questions. Wes, thank you for letting me know I wasn't sending the links to everyone there. I appreciate that. And otherwise, we're going to sign off. Thank you, Wes. Okay, Wes is my moderator for the day on that too. So we're here to serve you well. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it? Can I get some feedback? Did you like it? Did you like what I had to teach you today? Is it something that you think can really work for your restaurant? Let me know. I got some thumbs up going up. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that. Sometimes it's tough with the Zoom stuff too. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're going to be signing off, and we will see you soon.